Dusty in the basement. You got plans this weekend?
Potentially, yeah. I might be going axe throwing. Yeah.
Axe throwing?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing, you know, you really...
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Get boozed up and throw some axes.
That's what I don't ever get. It's like everybody's got a
Yeah.
glass of beer in their hand and they're hucking axes.
I don't get it, but I'm excited for it.
Just don't be that guy where it's like the headline starts off, "A Florida man."
Yeah, what if it like slipped back?
Yeah,
What if you're...
that's a real thing.
I'm excited.
That's big, and then the come on in and whack something.
Smash rooms. We got one pretty close to here. I would love to do that.
A girl that I went to high school with, that's the same one. That's her smash room.
Oh, really?
She keeps posting, "Come on by and smack something." I don't know,
That's
like
cool. I like that.
one smack, and you know how much? You think you
Break a microwave?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would try it. I don't know that I'd be very good. I'd just probably get tired and be like, "Ah, you won."
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. How we doing today? You learn something every day now, don't you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, tonight's our Wine and Wealth class. Hope you'll join us there if you're one of our clients. Of course, that'll start at 8 o'clock. We'll be hanging out maybe a little bit early with you. Come on in, ask your questions. Let's see what we can do. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff tonight, so hope you're ready. Grab a glass, come hang out with us, and enjoy. And hey, join us on the office trades. If you're not a client and you want to be a part of some of the kind of fun short-term stuff that we like to do and share, we have a research site, jazzwealth.com/research. It's a whole $13 a month, which we use for more development and stuff here. So it's not like anybody's like going on vacation and stuff. But we do the office trades segment where we just trade right in front of you live, share everything with you. You can see the account, you can see positions, good or bad, all that good stuff. And we do that usually every day, but we're trying to figure out a schedule, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something. But come join us over there. It's a good time. And as always, anything we do, you control. So if you try it out, you don't like it, you cancel. You don't even have to ask us, nothing. You just hit the button, right? So we give you all that. We don't want to play games here like all the other fun people out there. Anyways, let's talk about the stock market today. Green and red and green and red, right? What do you do with this thing here? Something different happened today. As far as the overnight markets, if you were to look at the futures market overnight, it's not showing now, it's currently closed. We have had large moves overnight. And today, or overnight, this night, was the first time that didn't happen in a while, right? We actually had kind of a quiet overnight. And then when the markets opened, it wasn't a large gap up or down. If you're using like, you know, an ETF, SPY or something like that. It was a rather neutral start. So it's pretty cool there. In fact, overnight, if we measure it, it was the smallest overnight change since right here, February 2011. I'm sorry, February 11th, 2021, 22. So granted that day was large, but today was the first time we had a small overnight move. And aside from a little volatility during the day, it was a small close on the day. So just a slight down day. Now, if you have no idea what that means, in the research site, as well as clients of ours, just go in there and search candlesticks. There are 3 classes. We talk about it. Today was one of the 3 candlesticks that tell you nothing. There's no story to be earned from there. So there are 5 candles. There's only 13 different candlesticks, right? And so in the class, I go through all of them. There are 5 green, there are 5 red, and there are 3 neutral. They have no color, right? And so that's all you got to learn. Those are the letters of the market, as we say. So that's the alphabet. 13 letters, all you got to learn there. So check that out. Today, if you look at the market there, it was one of those days where we would consider it neutral, although it had a wider range from high to low. Very, very quiet day, very tough to take a look at in terms of having something new to do. Now, if we look at the S&P here, you can very easily come over and draw a downtrend, right? And all you people out there, they're like, I don't believe in this stuff, man. As the technical analysis is for the birds, man. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Right now, everyone's looking at the stock market in a downtrend, a defined downtrend, and we're recognizing that we have yet to hit the top of that downtrend. The S&P is far away from hitting it. We could have a couple more up days and then still experience some troubles there. So the concept of this, we were talking about in office trades, it doesn't matter whether you believe in the 200-day moving average, a downtrend or whatever. It matters what everybody else is looking at. I'll say that again. It matters what everybody else is looking at. You could have the best strategy in the world, backtest the devil out of it and be all happy with that. But if everybody else is looking at this area right here, you better know what they're looking at, right? So I always teach people, study strategies. Don't think you're going to come up with the next greatest one. Know where everybody's looking and why they're looking at that. So you could do this with the SPY as well. It doesn't really matter what you're using. We could draw it. We're just using different instruments to see the same thing. So we've got the same thing going on here. Today, we were unable to get anything going towards the downtrend. So we're weaker than what technical traders would expect to see, right? So think about that. It's not a matter of what you're looking at. It's a matter of what people are focused on. That's what causes stocks to move up and down. It's the belief of the masses, not the belief of your strategy. All right, that's the S&P. If you look at the NASDAQ, you're going to have something very similar, although much steeper, right? And the reason I'm highlighting this today is because today told you nothing about what the stock market's going to do. You can't predict out 3, 4, 5 days or whatever and get a good feel for that. So we have a downtrend in the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ's downtrend is steeper, so it's a lot weaker. In fact, the NASDAQ's the weakest index for the year so far, down 14%. So it is the closest, though, to attempting to break the downtrend. That tells you something, right? We are at the area of the downtrend. If people want to be bullish, if there's a reason to be bullish or whatever on your growth stocks, your tech stocks or whatever, now you have a recipe for something that can break the downtrend. So all eyes really go focused on the NASDAQ. Can it start to lead the way? I don't know what the answer is, but we at least know that's where we want to look. The Russell's in a similar spot, kind of as the S&P. If you draw this downtrend here, we have yet to get to the top of the downtrend. Now, aside from that, we could say the selling has slowed down. Take a bigger picture view. You see the downtrend there. You see it stopped and is now chopping sideways to possibly catch up to the downtrend and make its attempt to break or whatever happens from that point. So it's a little bit different there. It's very much like the S&P. So the good news for this is that the pressure to the downside is slowing on your small caps there, but it isn't by no means a reason to believe that right now is the next opportunity to buy. So in the NASDAQ and in the Russell, as well as the S&P at the moment, you're close. The NASDAQ's the closest, but there's no reason for you to believe that something's going to break out or break down just yet, at least in the Russell or the S&P. Now, one interesting place everybody's looking is the RSX. This is a Russian market. The Russian markets are not open. They have yet to open. So they were closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today. And I don't know when they're going to open back up. So all that's left here is for people to assume pricing. Likely, people are assuming pricing they're a little extreme on their pricing. So it's very likely that this is not worth $5. It's worth something, probably a little bit more than that, but is a very dangerous trade at the moment. The RSX is down 80% in less than 15 days. So you've lost 80% in 15 days. That can't feel good. That's got to be causing people over there to go try to get cash out of the banks and stuff. I don't know. I don't follow that. Nonetheless, the RSX remains extremely oversold, seems to be losing about 20% a day every single day that it falls. It's incredible, right? So that's what you have going on there. Elsewhere around the market, small day for bonds. Not a lot that you can learn from that as well. You had a slight drop in yields, but nothing magical there. The excitement was all in oil. So if you look at oil, it did pop to new highs overnight. Now oil, that had a big range. We were up to $116, a little bit over that. So oil hits over $116, very extended. Lots of oil and energy stocks are extended here. You got to be very careful if you just started a new position, because now it's starting to pull back, right? I don't know where it goes from here. Oil's a tough one to fight. We've got Chevron's one of our office trades. I actually added a little bit to that here today. Very extended. I don't like that it didn't start to pull back with the price of oil today, so not so exciting there. Other than that, if you look around the sectors, you got utilities breaking through their downtrend. Notice what happens, right? Believe in it or not, the second you break through that downtrend, look at all the excitement. Look at all the volume and the large, wide range bars, the number one bars. If you're looking at the candlesticks class, you got very much a lot of excitement here. Would the NASDAQ do the same thing? I know they're not related, but would the NASDAQ try to do this? This is what you look for at that moment where the NASDAQ tries to break. You now know no S&P, No Russell, not interested there. Let me go look at the NASDAQ. Let's see what happens with that. Metals and minings also were higher today, very extended here in the short term, but looking obviously nice and strong, very tough one to fight. Gold miners, if you're looking at the GDX, you should be able to see the ticker at the top, make it a little more visible for you. Gold miners very strong today. The price of gold was able to hold up. This is not normally a tough commodity to go counter trend on, but it's proving that at the moment. And what else do we have? Consumer staples would be the second best performing sector in the market year to date. What's happening here? Look at all these areas where they're trying to break this downtrend. There are pockets of the market you can go look at, but by no means do you take a broad stance in the market and say, now's the time, I'm going to go in, let's just see what happens. So careful there. In our office trades for today, we were somewhat active. We didn't have to do a whole lot, but there were some things that we did, so I'll bring you up to speed on that. Sold calls on the S&P, sold calls on Kroger, sold more calls on Chevron, and closed out our ACAM, the put side. So on ACAM, we're actually on both sides of the trade. We had sold the $95 puts on the previous sell-off there. We got this rally, made over 50% on our total premium collected there. And we have the 115 calls. So the 115 calls remain, keeps us short on this position at the moment versus, slightly more short than long. I don't know. We had a kind of a weird strangle there that we put on. And that was pretty much it. So got a little bit short on the S&P just to try to have some short deltas because we didn't have that. Kroger, I don't know if you saw, you can probably cover that, but Kroger was pretty impressive with their earnings, by the way. So sold calls on that one, trying to play for a pullback and or sideways move there. Chevron we added to, and ACAM we took off there, that part of the position. So quick update on that. Let's go to new highs and lows for the day. I'll stay with Kroger. It was a nice beat on earnings for Kroger and was pretty much the attention grabber here today. Raised their guidance as well. This is the response you're getting from stocks that beat on earnings. We were expecting like 75, 77 cents or something. We got 91. That's a sizable beat. Very impressive for Kroger. They get rewarded. Any stock that can beat by a mile gets rewarded. There were 24 new highs and only 4 new lows. PVH was one of them, so Ralph Lauren retail company. Broke to new lows just ever so slightly there. I found it interesting because it's what's referred to as a green bar ignored. That's basically GBI is the fancy tech term for it. So you have a big sell-off day here. We had yesterday where the market, everything was higher. We couldn't erase all of that. And today we erase all of the green. This green bar has been ignored. Nobody's interested in it. And so that leads people to believe, technical traders anyways, that that's going to break to new lows. Mosaic was a new high that now finds itself very extended. Kind of looks like oil in a way. It's not oil, but I'll give you an idea. Travelers hit new 52-week highs. Yet to really get anything started. This would be the red bar ignored in a sloppy sense, which you can see in the candlesticks class as well. So anyways, breaking to new highs there, and I think would have done better and likely does better on any broad strength in the market. Union Pacific, we talked about this in the office trades as well. Rails were exciting today in terms of having more action than most. And Union Pacific broke out to new highs. Didn't finish up there at highs, not even halfway. So that glass is not half full at this point. That's a little bit of a problem, but maybe something for a watch list. Come back and see what happens. All right, stocks in the news. We'll start with Chargepoint. It's an EV charging company. If you have one, then you've likely heard of these guys. Revenue beat by 5%, but they did something tricky here. So they beat on sales by 5%, but then they gave guidance for this quarter, and they essentially took back the 5%. So they beat, but they're saying it's all going to be neutral in the end when we count in this quarter. So a little tricky there what they tried to do if you happen to read through earnings as much as I like to. But for the remainder of the year, they still guided for 35% more than what Wall Street was expecting. The stock was up almost 7% on the day. That may be one to watch. You like your bottom picking there. From a fundamental basis, you go, okay, I see what's going to happen. We've already written off the first quarter. Great. That means you don't see much of an effect when they report Q1 earnings. But they're obviously very positive about the rest of the year. So if all that comes even kind of true, that sets them up for a pretty severe beat. Ford down almost 3% on the day. They're going to reorganize part of their business. They're going to have They call them internal combustion engines, the ICE division, and then they're going to have the EV division. They're also going to be spending $50 billion as opposed to $30 billion for the EV division, and largely because $30 billion very quickly is going to go to research and development for batteries, which Elon Musk could give them a tip or two. Stanley Black & Decker, you know, the power tool company there. They're doing a $2 billion accelerated buyback. They're hot on this one here. Yeah, $2 billion. So they were in the news. Stock was higher by 1%. That's pretty much it there. Tesla down about 4.5% on the day. Elon Musk says they're not really going to try to get in the way of the United Auto Workers Union to try to stop them from holding a vote to unionize. I hope that doesn't happen for them, but we'll see how that goes. Box. This is Dropbox's competitor, or somewhat of a competitor. They reported earnings that were better than expected, raised their guidance going forward. It was okay. Yeah, it was an earnings beat. Wasn't stellar. It was just a nice couple cent earnings beat there. Not too bad. The stock still added 2% on the day, which was much less than where it started, if you were following along. What else do we have? Best Buy, by the way. Best Buy reported earnings. Revenues missed there. They lowered their guidance going forward. They did raise their dividend 20-something percent. I forget, 20, 25, 26% or something like that. And Snowflake, big miss for them, 15%. Earnings showed the slowest growth for them in 3 years. Not good. Not good for old Snowflake there, considering what they do. So that's a loss of 15% on the day. Tomorrow, really no earnings to speak of. You've got Powell testifying. You got natural gas coming out there. A couple Fed presidents speaking as well. That's pretty much it, from what I can tell. Yeah. All right, I'll take your questions if you happen to have any. Let's see what we can do. Otherwise, I will get ready for Wine and Wealth later tonight. We'll take a look. All right. This chat used to not be political. Yeah, everybody's got something to say these days. It's all right. You can have your beliefs, right? The market welcomes a difference of opinions, unlike the world that seems to not welcome a difference of opinion, right? The stock market's the last place. It's the last place where me and you can disagree and still be friends. You know what I mean? And that's sad. That one's pretty sad there. Yeah. I like it. What is the what is the way how to communicate in a research site? Haven't found a way to comment on videos or chat. When we do them live, the chat feature is built in, so you can actually just comment right there. You'll see the video, and then off to the right, be your right, you would see you just give yourself a nickname and come on in and ask your questions. Happy to help. Alibaba, they should be doing a big buyback. Yeah, that makes sense for them. So Alibaba trying to break 100 still. I'll be darned. Yeah. Is the RSX ever coming back? I think it's probably oversold here. There is some degree of loss necessary, and maybe it's in the 40 to 50% range, but I don't know about 80%. But it's kind of like this product is floating around on its own with no guidance from the Russian markets because they're not open. Normally, the RSX would actually just follow along with the index. What happens when there's no index in the country because they're not open, but yet there's an ADR or a actual stock traded that's supposed to correlate, and they're open? What happens? It leaves only people the opportunity to say, well, then I'm out. Not to mention you probably have a handful of margin calls in there and such. Yep. Should you start buying gas now and sell it next week? I don't know. What are you going to do? Like put it in your garage or something? That's a tough one there. Why you think gas prices are going to go up now? Isn't it funny? Like we was talking to a client about this the other day. Gas prices have already gone up, and the second oil starts to pull back, like even a little bit today, they're not going back down. Right? They just keep it like that. Yeah. What is a certified share and how do you get one? They're pretty costly these days. I think most brokerage firms will charge you a couple $100 to actually have one. where you would physically have the share instead of digitally, but you can do it. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, like, do they even do it? What would that cost you? Get a certificate there. They'll take them from you as much as you want. I had a client one time that said, I've got all these shares. What do I do with it? We didn't know you could actually do it. I guess Fidelity is about $100. So anywhere between maybe $100 and $250 probably be normal. The smaller brokers probably charge more. Yeah. Missy, tonight for Wine and Wealth, we're going to be talking a little bit about a lot of things, actually, because there's a lot going on. We're going to talk about cars, how that's going out there, because a lot of people seem to be buying cars right now, and fill you in on a few things and hang out, answer questions and such. Maybe tell you what's going on here, give you an update. But that'll be at 8 o'clock tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, yeah. I don't follow the actual news too much, probably as much as I should. But I don't really watch TV much. Not my thing. What is my thing is Wine and Wealth here tonight. I hope you'll join us. I will be ready at 8 o'clock. Maybe get something to eat, grab a drink, come hang out with us. We'll do like we always do. And you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. See you later.